Yeah, so friends, last week I was reading this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And, for me, like, I'm a huge procrastinator, okay? There are a lot of things in my life, I'm just like putting them up for later, okay? There are a lot of things I should be doing, but I'm not doing. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it later, probably when I grow up or when I am rich or like, yeah. So this past couple of years, I was like, man, I need to start doing things now, I need to start doing things now. And I pick up this book. I was supposed to read a lot of books in the line, but I said, let me pick up this book, The Power of Now. Because I was thinking the message in this book was going to be like, everything, do it now. Do it now, Don't hesitate, don't procrastinate. And that's what I expected the message of this book to be. But then the message there is completely different. It's completely different. What I expected was not what's in the book. Okay? This book is about spirituality. Probably I did not read the subtitle, because the subtitle is like a guide to spiritual enlightenment. Okay, so what this book does is like it's a complete flip of all the things that I've been reading over the past years. Okay, because most of the things I was reading is about how to develop your mind. It's like your mind is everything. You are your mind. Okay, things like Think and Grow Rich. Okay, As a Man Think. Like there are a lot of think books. Every book, The Secret, all these books, they talk about how powerful your mind is and how you should use your mind. Always be thinking, like just some people go to a point that if you think something and visualize it, it will manifest in its physical form, And me in my life, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Like I'm always thinking. Like, and what this book helped me is like it helped me to at least acknowledge the fact that I'm a huge thinker. Probably is I am born with it or the books I'm reading. Okay, and this book came and like flipped everything. It says, don't think. That's the key message of this book. Stop thinking. Like us human beings, we are always thinking. Okay, whether we are conscious or not, our mind is always thinking. All right, because right now, can you stop and say, I'm not going to think? No, like it's almost impossible. Okay, to be conscious and not think. All right, it's like this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This book is also another flip. Okay, it flipped some of the things I've learned, And this book, what the message was, is like, don't try. I think that's the first chapter of the book. Like most of the books you read is like, chase your dreams, work hard, like all this yada yada yada. And this book says like, don't try, man. Just live the way you want. What you want will eventually come to you. Okay. This book is also a very important book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This book by Mark Manson. All right. So this book is basically telling us not to think, to stop thinking, because it's really related to the book I recently read, The Ego is the Enemy. Okay, he says the reason why we always think a lot is because of our ego. Okay, our ego does not believe in the present. Our ego believes in the past and the future, what we have accomplished in the past, or some of the traumas we have had in the past, and the future. Okay, what we are coming to accomplish. For me, my part is the future. I'm like, my ego is in the future, what I'm going to accomplish in the future. Okay, that's why I'm always thinking, and yeah, this book, okay, I said the core of this book is for us to stop thinking and to be in the present. I forgot, that's the most important fact of this book, to cherish the present, to smell the roses, to feel everything, It's not like, for everyone, they are just thinking about what happened yesterday, day before yesterday, last year, who did you this, who did you that, in the future, especially fear. Your fear, they say, is false evidence appearing real. And this book talks about fear a lot, The reason why we think in the future. He says the future doesn't exist. So why stay in the future, okay? And he even said that the past also doesn't exist. He says there is always now. Now is always like the present. If you ask about what time is it? And he also says that time is an illusion. Time is an illusion, like time doesn't exist. I think that one is extreme. Even later in the book, he says that there is clock time and psychological time. Yeah, which I believe. People need clock time. Right now, like, it's almost 11, and I normally like spend 30 minutes on my personal like social media and stuff, okay? So that's the time. So I'm like 10 minutes left. So I still have chance to go on. So that's the thing, all right? And this book is trying to tell us to embrace the present, okay? Be here now, okay? It turned me into a monk. Because now I'm always like thinking, like watching my breath so that I can stop thinking and focus on the present, okay? And focus on the present and stay calm. Just enjoy the present, Notice the little things such as the birds flying, the flowers. Feel the presence. When you are with somebody, make sure that you give your attention to them, not just like juggling with your phone. Like for me, I listen to podcasts while having breakfast, while also on the phone, like doing a lot of stuff at the same time. But now I limit it. I'm going to limit it. Okay, I'm going to do not more than, even the book this book, what is the name again? What is the name of this book? The One Thing. The One Thing is a very also interesting book where it tells us to stop multitasking. You know, in this world now, we are always multitasking. And he says we should not multitask. We should focus on one thing at a time. And the core message of that book is like, what is the one thing you can do right now such that by doing it, everything else will become unnecessary or easy. Yeah, that's the core message of that book. Okay, what is the one thing that you can focus on right now that you can do? And I'm deeply moved by this book, The Power of Now, by Eckhart Tolle. Okay, this book will form a lasting impression on me because I noticed that, I know that I'm a huge thinker, but I did not know there's a problem until I read this book. Okay, that's a big problem. Okay, sometimes I think so much thinking is not only about thinking negative stuff, but the ego, for example, thinking about the future, thinking about work, thinking about the mind is always thinking. So it urges us to separate ourselves from our mind and just appreciate life and feel the present, smell the roses, as they say. All right, friends, so that's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's a very interesting book. I've had a lot of notes here. You see, all these are notes, okay? And the first part of the book, he talks about the parable of the beggar on the box. He quote a lot from Jesus, Isa, the prophet, and yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, he say use your mind, but don't get used by your mind. Always watch the thinker. Okay, watch the thinker. I mean, you separate yourself from yourself, and then watch the thinker. Okay, and our minds are always outside. Okay, outside. We need to put them in the body, feel our body, feel ourselves, and yeah, those are some of the notes. And yep, talks about the portals of consciousness. Okay, he says. Don't be in a relationship with yourself. Okay, most of us are in a relationship with ourselves, but we should be ourselves, not in a relationship with ourselves. He went into further details on that. Okay, he talks about the difference between happiness and being at peace. Happiness is just temporal. Okay, but being at peace is mean accepting everything, whether good or bad, just accepting it as it is, man. Just be present. He said the now is the key. Just be present. All right, friends, I gotta go.